All right, so how do we find the greatest common factor of these two letter expressions? So the greatest common factor is you want to find the large, a little bigger there, the largest, well, I'll just say greatest. That's where we're using that word. Greatest number that divides evenly into 4 and 10, 4 and 10. So what's the biggest number that goes into 4 and 10 evenly? It's going to be 2, right? 2 goes into 4 2 times perfectly, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. So 2 is the biggest number that goes into 4 and 10. All right. Now, okay, what do you do with the letters? For the letters, you take the lowest power on X and lowest power on Y. So what's the lowest power on X? Well, we have regular X and X squared, so it'll just be regular X. And what's the lowest power on Y? We have Y cubed and Y squared. So the lower one would be Y squared. So then putting it all together, what's called the GCF, the greatest common factor, is 2xy squared. That's our answer, 2xy squared. What did we just do? We found out the most they have in common. That's why it's called the greatest common factor. It's the most they have in common. What do I mean? I mean, the most, what can go into 4 and 10 is 2. That's the biggest number. You might think, what else can go? 1 can go into any numbers, right? So 1 goes into 4 and 10 evenly, but 2 is the greatest number that divides evenly into 4 and 10. And then when you think, okay, yeah, but so I understand you took the greatest here, but when it comes to X, you took the lower. Well, it's the greatest amount they have in common. Like let's look at the Y's for a second, right? One of these guys has 2 Y's, Y squared. The other one has 3. So what do they have in common? Like what do they both have? Y squared. That's the greatest amount they both have. What do I mean that's the greatest amount? Well, if I said, hey, do you guys both have at least 1 Y? Yeah, they both have in common 1 Y. Okay, let's up it. Do you both have at least 2 Y's? Yeah, we both got 2 or more. Okay, do you both have 3 or more? No, because this guy doesn't have 3 or more. So the most they have in common is Y squared. And it's the same thing for the X. The most they have in common. So we really did just take the greatest amount they have in common, right? The most X's they share in common is just 1X. The most Y's they share in common is 2 Y's. And the biggest number that goes into 4 and 10 is 2. So that's what's called the greatest common factor. And there we go.